What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel in this live feed. I want to talk about my two-month ownership of the Duramax, as well as how to properly lift your truck. There's a lot of things that have to be taken into account when lifting a Duramax, as it's completely different, than lifting, say, a Super Duty or a Cummins or something like that. A Ram or a Ford F-250. They're not the same at all. No, we're not even close. So first I want to touch base with my thoughts of the Duramax and how I've embraced the huge truck over driving smaller vehicles over the past 8 years that I haven't had a truck. So first things first, I love the Duramax. So if anybody's been thinking about buying one for themselves, it's a great truck. It really is. It drives great. It's smooth and comfortable, although to a certain degree it doesn't ride as good as it did before I lifted it, depending on the situation, of course. It gets great gas mileage. I'm getting was getting between 20 and 23, but closer to 2021 on the highway. Now I'm lucky if I get 18 or 17 because I lifted it, so that's a given. But with that being said, we're on a road trip right now going to Cuba. We're driving to Cuba.
They just built a bridge.
Yeah, they built a bridge. No, but all kidding aside, this car really sucks. It's a Ford Fiesta. It sucks crap. But with that being said, I love the Duramax. Gas mileage is good for a 6,500 pound truck. It tows very well. I towed in it. I towed the Hellcat home 3.5 weeks ago. It was great. It performs well. It responds well to the tunes and the deletes. A lot of power. Absolutely love it. No complaints there. The only thing that takes getting used to is you have to have a little bit of arm strength, so to speak, to turn the wheel and to drive it because it's just a heavier vehicle. I'm used to the room now, so much so that this car really sucks even more, and it feels like I'm in a go-kart because of the fact the truck is so big. It makes this car feel even smaller than it already is. This car only weighs about 2,200 pounds, which is what my wheels weigh. That's kind of a joke, but I mean, I wouldn't doubt the wheels are probably in the 600-700 pound range together combined with tires. But the only bad part about driving a Duramax is getting used to how big the vehicle is. But on the positive side of things, it's a much better riding truck than I ever thought it would be. I didn't expect it to ride as good as it does. The gas mileage is better than I ever thought it would be. The towing is as good or better than I thought it would be. It's a lot faster than I thought. I didn't expect a truck to be this fast with a tune and with a delete, but it is. So that's a great thing. It's absolutely wonderful to drive. I hate driving, smaller vehicles now because I'm so used to it. But I would say that overall the Duramax is a very well-built vehicle. Whether it be a Silverado or a Sierra, it doesn't matter. They're both relatively the same. The real difference is the Denali trim. The wood grain, the dashboard and stuff, the interior, the leather, I think is going to probably be a little better on the Sierra. But that just goes without saying. That's the Denali trim. But other than that, they're relatively the same truck, and I think they're great vehicles. They're a lot of fun to drive, and I see myself without it now. In fact, if I was going to trade or sell any of my cars, the Duramax would be the one that would be most likely to stay. So that's something a lot of Duramax owners do say, is once they get behind the wheel and own it for a while, they don't see themselves getting rid of it, and then they end up keeping it for a very long time. Or they go to another Duramax. There's plenty of other channels out there that the owners of these Duramax trucks have done the same thing, and I can understand why. It's a great truck. So if you've ever thought about getting one, I would definitely say it's a great investment. Diesel lasts longer anyway. It gets better gas mileage. I know people that have 20 or 1500s that have gas engines in them, like, the Hemis, whether it be the Ram or Ford's new EcoBoost, which doesn't even get as good a gas mileage as my diesel does. So you get a better gas mileage out of the diesel truck anyway, and it's going to last a lot longer. It holds value more, a lot more value. If you look at the average price of a Sierra with a gas engine, you're looking, let's say a 2012, like my year, my truck's worth about 40 to 45,000, maybe, depending on who's buying it with a diesel engine. Whereas if it had a gas engine, it would only be worth about 20 or maybe 25, depending on the mileage, of course. But I would say it's safe to say you're going to get about a 25% markup on a diesel on average, maybe more. I mean, look at the old diesel trucks, the LLYs, LBZs, like 10 years ago or more. Those trucks sell all day long for $20,000-$25,000, and they've got 150 to 200,000 miles on them, and some of them have 300,000, and they still sell for $20,000 to $30,000. So keep that in mind when buying a truck. Diesel trucks get better gas mileage, they're more reliable, they last longer, and they hold better value. So after owning the truck for 2 months, it's been fantastic. What does Cody think of the Duramax?
No, it's nice. Nice, it rides really nice, and it's big. It's big.
That's huge. So
yeah, it's pretty badass, cruising around, driving, just being bigger than everybody else.
Yeah, that's definitely a good thing. As far as lifting the truck, I'm going to get to that now. And the thing about lifting a Duramax is quite different than lifting, a Super Duty or a Ram 2500. The fact is, it's the only one with independent front. Now, if you didn't know this, the 1500 Chevys and Sierras have coilovers. They have shock and coil springs. They do not have the same setup as the heavy duties, which are the Duramaxes, which is, a torsion key. It's a torsion bar. It rides through the front lower control arm and into a key that adjusts it, and adjusts the lower control arm to adjust your ride height and the stiffness of the vehicle. So it's a completely different system. Now, when you're lifting a Duramax, there's some things that you have to take into account, which I've learned from doing my truck, as well as watching other people do theirs, and of course, just overall general automotive knowledge. Now, when you're lifting a Duramax vehicle, the most important thing is a lot of guys will say to keep the axles perfectly straight. Like, you have to have them symmetrically, perfectly straight, put a leveler on it. It can't even be out by a millionth of a percent. A lot of guys are anal about that. The simple fact of the matter is you can have a 2.5-inch deviation between the wheel and the differential. What that means is you could level the front of your truck up to 2.5 inches before you're going to have to worry about your axles. Even though they're going to have a slight curve, it's no issue. The same goes for an all-wheel drive car or a front-wheel drive car. You can usually lower 1.5 to 2 inches, no problem, and then you start getting vibrations. Hence my BMW all-wheel drive. It had vibrations. I put spacers to lift the front end up 1/4 of an inch. Vibrations went away. An axle will bend, it'll curve a little bit, but it only curves and bends so much. There's also a difference between a V or an L or just a slight curve. You don't want to go too far. So with the BDS kit, you're getting a 4.5 drop on the axles and a 6.5-inch, lift on the truck. Hence, you're going to basically be the same as lifting the front end 2 inches. So my axles have a slight drop and curve to them, but they're very much okay. Some Duramax owners would give me shit for it and say that I got to get my axles perfectly symmetrical, but that, is each to their own. There's nothing wrong with having straight axles, and to a degree, they're telling the truth. You want to have the axle straight, you want to, but is a slight curve or a 2-inch leveling kit or a 2-inch deviation in lift to a diff drop going to wear the axles out faster? Probably marginally at best, and it's not going to cause any vibrations. I know, I'm doing it right now, and there's no issues, plus BDS designs the kit like that. So when you're lifting a truck, you don't have to have your axles perfectly straight, but you do have to understand that if you're going to lift your truck at all, you have to have some sort of diff drop. I don't recommend doing a 4 or 5-inch lift and leaving your axles factory and leaving the diff on the factory frame, otherwise you're going to be screwed. A 4.5-inch lift on the truck, your axles literally are going to do this, and they're just going to be like a complete drop, and they're going to be like an L, and you will fry and pop those axles, no problem. So you definitely don't want that. My brother saw my axles before, and that was with a 3-inch leveling kit with a 1-inch spacer. That's 2 inches. It was probably closer to 2.5. And just the way it was set up was wrong. The hubs weren't right. Make sure to get a proper kit that keeps your axles and your tie rods straight. Even if your axles were straight, you have to worry about the tie rods. On the factory knuckle, the tie rod comes to the bottom and points up, whereas on BDS or any other knuckles, they come across and go down. So just by the knuckles alone, you're getting 1.5 to 2 inches of extra clearance on your tie rod. Right?
Absolutely.
So We want to keep everything straight. That's the key. And there's many kits out there I recommend if you guys are going to lift your truck. Obviously, I like BDS the most. I am very excited for the Ram TRX for sure. It's going to be amazing. Dark Knight, you'll love a Duramax. You really will. I want to talk about 3 kits right now off the top of my head that are the absolute best in the business. Number 1 for best in the business, even though I don't have it, is Cognito. You can't really beat Cog for lift kits. If I was going to go Cognito, which I might in the future, I would do their 10 to 12 kit and set the truck at 10 inches. Or I'd go 7 to 9 and set it at 8. That'd be perfect. The second best lift kit would be a tie between BDS and Full Throttle. Full Throttle make an absolutely amazing lift kit. They have a nice 9 to 11 kit that you can set at 10 inches and your axles will be very low drop, probably less than I got right now, and you get a nice solid 9 to 10 inches out of it. Just an amazing setup, but it's a torsion drop kit unlike the BDS. And of course, tied with Full Throttle for second place, or maybe even a close third, is BDS. Those are the top 3 kits. I got the BDS kit 6.5, and I've got it cranked all the way to 6 1/4 in the front. I still have about a 1/4 inch more room. Yeah, the claw taking over. I'm gonna look at some comments, and then we'll continue. Hey, it's not letting me check out the comments. Oh, there we go. The screen froze. Thanks, Andre. I appreciate it, buddy. I'm not really thinking about getting a red eye at this point. I'm waiting for the Dodge Angel to come out. I did another video on that. Dodge has a new Angel coming out. It's probably not going to be called an Angel. I don't know what they're going to call it, but it's coming out for sure. The Honda's been doing great. I'm going to have some content on the Honda maybe Sunday, possibly Monday. I'm headed to Boston right now. Got some meet and greets and some stuff to do for the channel and for some work. But I really think that the Angel's going to come out with a different name, but it's going to be a Demon competitor. And it's going to be Charger. I don't think the Angel's going to have anything to do with the Challenger at all. Could be wrong, but they patented the name Angel for a reason. There's a very big reason for that. But as far as lifting the trucks, you also got...
planning on bringing out the CUDA.
That's very true. I mean...
Could they bring back the CUDA? Who would like to see that shit?
It's very possible. Very possible. I would like to see that. I'm sure everybody would.
Who wouldn't want to see a Hemi CUDA? I would.
I have no plans on getting rid of the Hellcat. I'm keeping it. So no worries there. As far as lifting the truck, the next point I want to bring up is you guys got to worry about size of tires. You can't run anything bigger than 33s on a leveling kit unless you have a good offset. 0 or in the plus for 35s. If you're lifted on a 4-inch kit, you can do 35s with a 0 offset or plus or a -19. If you plan on running -44 like myself on a 20x12 wide, 13 wide, 35 tire, you have to go 6 inches or bigger and trim. So keep that in mind as well. When you lift a Duramax, they have square wheel wells, unlike the Super Duties and Rams. So you absolutely, positively have to watch your wheel size or you're going to trim like crazy. You do not have to hammer much unless you're running 37s or 38s on an 8-inch or less of a lift. Then you got to worry about hammering and cutting and drilling. It gets a little crazy. I didn't have much to worry about myself. My brother and I both know enough about cars to know that a 6.5-inch lift will clear 35s as long as you trim the front plastic and you got, you know, the truck level where it needs to be, and that 6.5 in the front should be good. I'm just looking at comments. Boston, I'm going to be going to downtown, then the north side of town, and then we're headed to Manchester. And then after Manchester, we are going to head back to New York City. And then after New York City, we are headed home. And we're doing all this before Sunday. Yep. Before, are we nuts?
Oh, yeah, I know.
We must be crazy. We did the Chicago trip in like 5 days.
We're doing all this in one.
Yeah, we're doing all this in one. But then again, it's only like a 300-some-mile trip, whereas the Chicago was 700, 600 something. It was half the distance. So it's not that bad. It's not that bad at all. But we'll see. Do you love the Power Wagon, or do you think Dodge is going to please? Okay, I don't know. I'd like to see an update to the Power Wagon, I really would, but I have no idea if they're going to like facelift it like they did the Ram Rebel and everything else. Only time will tell. I haven't seen anything on it. As far as Dodge pickup trucks, I did see the Ram 1500 in the photo in my other video. If you check it out on my channel, you'll see the TRX video I did. They spied a truck that looked like, to me, they sent me a picture, it looked like a Ram 1500. It was definitely 100% not a Rebel. So it looked to me like a Hellcat Ram 1500. So they could be dropping a Hellcat Ram close to the TRX time being a straight truck and the Rebel TRX being off-road. So they may be working on those two instead. Only time will tell, though. Dodge's new midsize. Are we talking about the Dakota coming back? Because I heard rumors of the Dakota coming back. But other than that, I was unaware of... Sorry about that, bad connection. I don't know what the heck happened. Must have hit a dead zone. The Dakota's gorgeous. It looked to me like it's going to have a little bit of Durango meets Ram 1500 styling. It's like a cross between the two. Remember, the Durango used to look like the Dakota, so I wouldn't be surprised that the Dakota looks like a redheaded stepchild version of a Ram 1500, the new one, meets the Durango. And to be honest, I don't think there'd be anything wrong with that at all. If you just think about it, I think it would look gorgeous anyway. Well, what the Angel is basically similar in ways to a Demon, but in a Charger. I think the Angel's going to be a wide-body Charger with a Hellcat upgraded engine, like the Red Eye engine, 797 horsepower, and some other features to make it compete with the Red Eye as well as the Demon. I think the Angel might have more power. Only time will truly tell, because Dodge has been noted for stepping up their game to compete with themselves. The only company I know that competes with themselves on an internal level. Well, since the guys over at the Rebel department got, a Hellcat engine, us here at the Ram 1500, we got to have one too. Now we're going to compete internally with our own company, which is great for us because it makes us want to buy the vehicles more, which is why I absolutely love Mopar and Dodge. Also, merch plug. That's why I got to bring this up. You guys got to get you a key tag. Mopar No Car, you flip it over, Driveway Demons. Check it out in the store, drivewaydemons.com. Get your Mopar No Car key tags, flip it over, Driveway Demons. Got to support the channel, guys. Get your t-shirts there as well, drivewaydemons.com.
Buy 3 of each.
The more support you guys give us, the more content, the more cars. My mind is spinning right now with the content I want to be bringing you guys. Like, I want to bring you guys so much content, so you got to support the channel. Once again, I'll do another merch plug here. Mopar No Car, Driveway Demons on the other side. Support the channel, drivewaydemons.com. Get your key tags there. They're totally badass. They really, truly are. So tell them, Cody, what are you up to? Like, what's your plan for this wonderful, wonderful trip? And give us your insight on one big tip when lifting a Duramax truck. Let's hear it.
Do it drunk. No. We are going to definitely, for this trip, we have to make one specific stop. We have to get some burgers at Wahlburgers.
Oh yeah, we're going to Wahlburgers in Boston for sure.
Yeah, and then
we're gonna stop by there tomorrow around lunchtime before we go off to our venture.
Obviously the number one thing to remember when you're lifting a truck would be, first, make sure you choose the size that you absolutely want, because it'll be more expensive to fix it. And what I mean by fixing is if you can't handle a 10-inch lift and you regret it, then you had to work to actually go to a different lift. And then you have to make sure you have your step guards, or whatever you want to call them, your steps on first. Otherwise, it'd be hell getting in and out of the truck, which I've seen some guys in some videos say the exact same thing, that they regret it.
Oh my God, can you imagine putting a 10-inch Cognito lift on a 2500 and no step guards?
Yeah.
You'd have to have a pogo stick or one of those trampolines to get in. Yeah. Like, you'd be like a flying luchador from wrestling. You'd just be like running and bounce off the trampoline just to get in the truck.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, you're you know, 7 feet tall, then you'd have no problem getting in the truck. But for most normal guys that are 6 foot or under, don't lift your truck if you have no step guards. I recommend Ant Research or like process rope ladder, which my son sort of needs, but he loves the truck.
You will eventually need higher lift your step more at that point.
I'll tell you what, if one of my Duramax videos, it doesn't have to be all of them, just one of them, whether it be the lifting one, bridge. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're back. Sorry about that. So, if one of my Duramax videos, if you guys share it, and one of those videos, 2 things got to happen: 150,000 subscribers or 150,000 views on one of my Duramax videos, and let's say 25,000 subscribers. If those 2 things happen, I'll yank it and I'll do a 10-inch Cognito or a 10-inch full throttle on the truck, which will give it 4 more inches of lift than it has now. And I'll go to 38s instead of 35s. But I'm not going to do any of that until one of my videos gets 150,000 views and my subscribers are at 25K. Remember, guys, I keep my promises to my subscribers. If you remember, I said I would get a Duramax at 25,000. I didn't even hit 25,000, and I got it anyway. So I can promise you that I will go with a bigger lift on that truck. And not only that, I've got plans to get more stuff for the channel as well. So definitely share the videos, share the channel. I do thank you guys for doing that already. For whoever's doing it, I thank you. We hit 17,000. That is absolutely fantastic. It was only a short while ago in Chicago when my brother and I were doing videos, and I had only maybe 9,000 subscribers. Now I have 17,000. It's safe to say that I've picked up over 7,000 subscribers since January. So that's wonderful for a channel of this size. It's growing rapidly. I'd like to hit 25,000. I really would like to hit 25,000 before Christmas. Maybe even 30, because at that point I'll be, you know, on my way to 50. I don't see it being a hard task. It's just, you know, the hard part about this whole scenario for me is that the truck. I don't have a lot of Duramax subscribers. I probably have, out of my 17,000, I might have 300 or 500 truck guys, maybe more. But I would say out of those 17,000, 13, 14,000 are strictly Durango and Hellcat guys. Now, I don't have a Durango no more, and my Hellcat, there's not a whole lot more I can do to it yet. So the content for the Hellcat is going to be, you know, going to the track, going to car meets in the coming weeks. I'll have September and October for some car meets and stuff, but the content is not going to be all the way there on the Hellcat because I've already got every mod you can think of without pulling the engine apart. So not much else I can do to the Hellcat. I mean, it already has 950 horsepower, so I mean, if I hit 100,000 subscribers and I still got the Hellcat, I'd sink 10 grand into the Hellcat and make it 1,200 horsepower. But
Make it to 20,000 subscribers by the end of the night, and I'll take a bat to the Hellcat.
Oh, no. Absolutely no deal. No deal at all. So, yeah, definitely like this video and share it with everyone. There's a couple things I still want to touch base on as far as lifting, you know, a Duramax. If you're planning on getting a Duramax, this is only a live feed. I'm going to do another video on this in way more detail than today. But the most important thing is to know you're going to need a drop hitch too. And you can't tow nothing without a drop hitch on a lifted truck. Right now I'm using an 8 3/4 drop hitch. If I was going to do a cog lift at 10 inches, I'd need to have a 10 to 12 drop minimum, which I don't even know if they make tow hitches with that much of a drop. That doesn't seem feasible. So you may not be able to tow with a 10-inch lift. So I don't tow much anyway, so I don't give a shit really. But I just want to enjoy the truck, and I got a lot of content for the truck.
Who needs to tow anything when you can just put a winch on it?
Well, you can't drive backwards down the highway doing 80 miles an hour, can you?
Put a winch on the back.
I mean, you could put a winch on.
You could just redneck it.
Oh yeah. I don't see how much sense that would make on the back.
Good job.
Yeah, but on the front, you could pull someone out.
This guy almost sideswiped us. That's why I was like looking over. Retard.
Yeah, we almost got hit. And a motorcycle hits us in this car, and we'd be totaled.
Yeah, damn fucking metal condom we're in right now.
Right, it's very, very small, and I really am not enjoying driving it, not one bit. A lot of people are making fun of my review of the Sentra, or not the Sentra, the Versa, not the Sentra, the Versa, saying it's a cheap car, it's meant to be cheap. It was kind of facetious. It was a joke review to a degree. It was truthful, but over obvious to make people laugh. And some people took it too seriously. What do you guys think of my brother and I doing shit that car owners say? I'm thinking about doing some of those because I've got a good sense of humor and I want to start busting more of that out on the channel. What do you guys think of videos of what owners would say? For example, if me and my brother did a video of shit that Mustang owners say, shit that truck owners say, and have like a little series on that. We really want to do that, and we've talked about it, thought about it, and we were really going to do it. We want to see what you guys think.
The reason why Ford said this a Fiesta, they called it Fiesta because they made it so small that you can pack all the Mexicans into it, and it's so small you wouldn't expect just a ton of Mexicans. When you're crossing the border, it's a little car going, right into Texas, and they wouldn't even question it. And then you open up the trunk, there's so much trunk space, 20 get out.
This car would fit 20 people. Are you crazy? Maybe 3. No, maybe 1.
So
well,
like
actually, no.
It's like a party in here.
Actually, no. If we're talking about Mexico, then maybe you'd fit 3 back there.
Yeah.
Regular, like, larger people like you or me, I don't know. Maybe 1.
We don't.
1. Uno.
You only need 1. You only need to bring over 1 or 2 Mexican women, and they'll spit out another 30 kids. So, I mean, then you'd have a whole family.
Yeah, that's true. Well, in any case, as far as shit owners say, I've wanted to do that for a while. Very long time. So, I'm thinking about starting it on some of these cars that I'm reviewing or driving. Like today's car, the Ford Fiesta. The word Fiesta is Spanish and it means party.
The Ford Party, but they made it so small.
Yeah, it's a Ford Party. Now,
like a party
I don't see how much partying you're going to do in a Fiesta unless you plan on partying with children, because there ain't no fucking room in this thing for anything or anyone. I mean, if you got 4 grown adults in a Ford Fiesta, the only Fiesta happening is when you get the fuck out of the car.
The only thing you'll be celebrating is your gas mileage.
Yeah, when you get out of the Ford Fiesta, that's when it's actually a party, because your legs have circulation again, your back doesn't hurt, and you can actually move your head around without hitting the seat rest or someone's knee, and you don't have to worry about your hair touching the roof liner. So,
and you'll never have to worry about lowering it. You just have to put a couple of people in the back.
Look, to clear a speed bump in a Ford Fiesta, you have to put a lift kit on it. I would have to lift this car 3 inches so it would make it and clear a speed bump.
This thing is so small, if you floored it and hit a speed bump, it'd be like going over a ramp.
Yeah, it's very small. But, kidding aside, you get what you pay for. Do I think the Ford Fiesta is better than the Versa? Yeah. It's a lot nicer interior. A lot better quality of an interior, too. And a Ford Fiesta is right in the same price range. So, that being said...
it's probably nicer than the Versa.
Yeah, it is. So it's a lot nicer.
Yeah.
Does it mean the Fiesta's a really, really awesome car? No, absolutely not. It just means this isn't as big of a piece of shit as the Versa is. It means the Versa is total shit and the Fiesta is okay. I feel like the Versa had more room, though. More headroom, for sure. I'm almost certainty of it, that there's more headroom, probably a couple inches. Not that really matters a lot, because my head isn't touching the roof, so it's not even something to compare. My brother drives a Tiburon, a 1997 Tiburon with 285,000 miles.
And it's got 650 horsepower. Beat that.
No. The Tiburon, believe it or not, as small as it is not really small compared to this. I feel like we're driving a tin can. This feels like a tin can.
No, the Tiburon is nice, and it's not a 97. It's a 2007.
Wait. Oh, yeah, it is 2007.
How could you get... Yeah, the 97... Actually, they didn't even make it. One in 97. I think it was like 99 and 2000. I think was the first, wasn't it? Something like that.
I was being facetious just to mess with you.
Oh, okay.
This video started...
The one from 2000 had a nice interior, but the exterior was retarded. It looked like a vibrator. Or a dildo. I mean, I don't get the style of it at all. I didn't like it.
We went from talking about a truck video to this, so... Hi, guys. Well, okay, so check this out. you do a 30 seconds, actually not 30 seconds, do 10 seconds of shit a Ford Fiesta owner would say. Let's warm up to our new video.
I did it already. It's your turn.
Wait a minute, to the Ford Fiesta? Oh,
Yeah,
yes, you
did. The Mexicans in the back.
I don't know how I would perceive a Ford Fiesta, but I'd imagine it going something like, all right, so my name's Eric. I'm in high school. I own a 2018 Ford Fiesta, and like it looks really small. That's because it is. But don't let that fool you. The reason they call it a Fiesta is because it's very tiny on the outside and very huge on the inside, and the engine may not be huge. It makes all kinds of horsepower, which is why they call it a Fiesta. It actually says it has 130 horsepower, but there's like another engine in the back that helps turn the front wheels. So it actually has more like 230 horsepower, but because this car only weighs 900 pounds, its horsepower to weight ratio, people. So in reality, I could do 0 to 60 in under 8 seconds. And it's really, really fast. I mean, 8 seconds, 0 to 60 is unbelievable. And the car is only $16,000. So all the money that I've saved on the cost of the car, I can afford to put $30,000 into it so that it'll run 15s. I only need about 30 grand to run 15s. And because the car's so cheap, that'd be easy to do. That's why Ford called it a Fiesta, because every day's a party. Something like that.
Yeah,
that
pretty much makes it.
That pretty much is what I would do for this car.
The reason why Ford called it a Fiesta is because, you know, it was made in Monterey. So we wanted to appeal to the Mexicans. And that's why I think they did. And then, you know, they called it Fiesta because it had all those pretty colors in the vehicle. You know, the blue, the green, and the red, and all that stuff.
That's the truth. So, there's multiple colors in this vehicle.
Multiple colors. And then it makes you feel like you just want to party.
Yeah, why is there multiple colors in this car? There's blue, green, purple. Wait, none of the colors match.
Red.
Look, green. That's blue or purple. Nothing matches in the car. I just realized this. I guess I'm stupid. Yeah, son of a bitch. Everything in this car doesn't match. Okay, well, there's got to be a way to change that. I can't imagine them giving blue, purple, and green lights in the same car with no way to change it. It actually doesn't look half bad, but it doesn't match. It's so bizarre. Yeah, I can't show you guys the interior of the car, but there's 3 different colors inside the car. I just don't understand that one bit. I guess it's all right. I don't own it. So it's going to have to be on the Hellcat because I've already got a ton of things I would like to say about that. Granted, I'd be making fun of myself, although I don't feel like I feel the same way the character I'd be.
I drive a kitty. This kitty.
Yeah.
Kitty,
let's not give it away, because I've got so many good lines for that video. I really, truly do. That would be amazing. So, the plan here is to go live in Boston tonight in a couple hours. I'm definitely going to show you guys around Boston. I brought my GoPros, so it's not going to be hard for me to vlog, but I'm not sure if I'd rather go live or vlog. I haven't decided yet. You guys have never seen Boston. It's crazy. No, we're going to be in Jersey for another 45 minutes. Because it's like another 45 minutes to an hour drive to get across into New York, and then we're into Connecticut. Yeah, Home Alone. You know what would be funny? If we did a video on actors and what they would say about their car. You pick a car and you pick an actor. So I would say, or
doing all the Mustang, right?
Okay, now we're back and connected. Okay, so now we're back at it again. Can you imagine that? Al Pacino giving a review of a Hellcat. Like, sit there and think about that. Al Pacino reviewing a Hellcat. Like,
Al Pacino.
Oh, this Dodge is so good. Oh, I tell you, so much horsepower. 1,000 horsepower. 0 to 60, and I can't even count. Too old to look at the speedometer. Can barely hold the steering wheel.
The world, Chico.
He wouldn't even be able to talk. His voice would hurt after the first 2 sentences.
It'd give out after the first review.
It would just be like the end, because he'd be too tired to review the rest. You know who I'd like to see reviewing a Hellcat, though? Straight up and no joke?
Robert De Niro.
No.
You know. That's a good car.
That's a good car. He'd be like shaking his finger over and over again. But I tell you who I would like to see reviewing a Hellcat on a serious note, Jim Carrey.
Oh yeah.
That would be absolutely phenomenal and funny.
All right.
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey.
That would be
Ford Fiesta. All right.
Yeah, right. That whole damn Lincoln commercial. What was up with that?
With the bugger.
Yeah, that was hilarious. If you guys haven't seen it, go check out Jim Carrey's remake of Matthew McConaughey's commercial of the Lincoln. It's absolutely hilarious. All you have to do is type in Lincoln commercial Jim Carrey, and it's probably one of the funniest automotive jokes I've ever seen in my life. And Jim Carrey just tears McConaughey apart in the commercial in a funny, friendly, family PG way. He doesn't swear. Jim Carrey hardly ever does anything rated R, if ever. But it's hilarious. It really is. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Just definitely check it out. Did you see that sign I just said? It said Car Fox, like Carfax. They're not saying Car Fox because the fox is like, yeah, that's, that was...
It's gotten really dark.
It is, and we're by Sandstone Auto Mall. Can you believe it's 7:52 and it's dark? And like a month ago, it would be like 8:30.
Yeah.
We've lost 30 minutes of sunset in the last month. Well, it's sundown. It's we're gonna play Gary Cooper and
we're gonna ride off into
John
the
Wayne.
sunset.
It's sundown, so now we have to get back to the cabin and pull out the guns because we're gonna go Wild West on everyone. We always say that a lot. Sundown. Oh, speaking of which, someone said earlier about a Dodge Dakota, right? Well, there's a Dakota in front of us. It said Scott Collins. I thought it said Seth Rollins. It was very weird. But if you see right there, there you go. There's a Dodge Dakota right there. Pretty cool. So here's the question for everybody who's watching right now. Is it going to be a Dodge Dakota or is it going to be a Ram Dakota? Like, I know that might sound stupid, but I'm making a legitimate question here. Is Dakota going to fall under Dodge or fall under Ram? They've made so many changes in the last 6 years. I don't even know where the hell they're going to put the truck. Maybe it comes back as a Chrysler. Who even knows what they're doing at this point?
Or maybe Dakota becomes its own brand.
That's very possible. That's very possible.
The Dakota Rebel. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, that Dakota's hot, though. I like... The Dakota's always had a good look.
Well, yeah, because you remember the 5.9 RT Dakotas back in the day.
Oh,
so
God.
why wouldn't they get a Rebel or a TRX brand?
Yeah, you know what? I think the Dakota should be getting the old SRT engine. Maybe the SRT Dakota is the 370 horse RT. Or maybe they get the 392. Can you imagine a Dakota that weighs 700-800 pounds less than a Ram 1500 and has a 485 horse engine? That'd be awesome. I'm just browsing for comments. Yeah, Ram is the truck division, so it's very possible the Dakota would fall under that. I don't see how that would work. A Ram Dakota, that would sound very bizarre. I don't think they're going to call it a Dakota. It's either going to be one of two things, guys. It's either going to be a Dodge Dakota or it's going to be a Ram, whatever name they give it. I don't see the word Ram Dakota selling very well. I don't think it's catchy. I don't think it's intelligent. I don't think it's good business ethic to call it a Ram Dakota. So if it does fall under Ram's division of truck, which it most likely will, it's not going to carry over the name Dakota, but they brought the Dodge Durango back, and the Dakota was the same as the Dakota, or the Dakota was the same as the Durango back in the day. So just sitting here thinking about all that makes my brain pop. I don't even know at this point. They very well could bring it back as a Dodge Dakota, but if they bring it back under Ram, there's no way that they're going to call it a Ram Dakota. And if they do, they call it a Ram Dakota, then Dodge is smoking the good stuff. A whole lot of it, right?
But shit, man.
Ram Dakota just doesn't roll for me. It doesn't fit. It doesn't do anything. I don't know.
Or the Rebel Dakota or something.
Yeah, it just...
Or SRT takes it over. SRT Dakota.
Well, maybe the Dakota only comes back as an SRT model. I find that highly...
But wouldn't you want it to have SRT Dakota? Look, they're a lower riding truck. It would make more sense to put an SRT engine in a Dakota than it would a Ram.
Well, yeah, to a degree. But you know what? We got to do? Let's save this talk for our next live vlog later tonight.
Alrighty then.
We'll talk about the Ram, possibly.
Oh, let's go to Buffalo
Dakota.
Wild Wings.
No, that's unhealthy. Okay, so let's see a comment, competition here. People, give your answers. Let's see what everybody says, like a vote, so to speak. What's healthier and where would you rather eat? Buffalo Wild Wings, Wendy's, Subway, Quiznos, or Panera Bread? Now, in my opinion, out of all those places, Panera Bread's the healthiest. And I'd find myself eating there more often than the other places. Although Wendy's is great, it's not very healthy unless you're going to get baked potato and nothing else. And no butter for that potato either.
I'll get a baked tater.
Then it's all right, I guess.
I want a baked tater.
A baked tater.
Baked tater.
Oh, a Dakota Concept Viper engine. That would be pretty
That would be
damn
nuts.
cool.
Yeah, that would be nuts.
I don't know how I would react to that. Oh, White Castle. White Castle.
Yeah.
Good choice. White Castle's awesome. I mean, we should stop at White Castle. It's just, the only problem is it's not healthy.
Some people don't want to just eat healthy all day. I'm not a hippie. I like
But that was the question, was it not? Which is the healthiest between
No,
these?
you said healthy or where do you like to eat at, which are two different questions. Because I don't necessarily always want to eat at Panera Bread. I do like it, but it's not like, oh, every day I want to eat at Panera Bread. I got to be healthy. Sometimes I just want to go to, Buffalo Wild Wings or, White Castle and eat my face off and get 40 sliders.
Oh, that's true. That's true. You don't want to eat the same thing all the time. But I tell you what, guys.
This area looks familiar.
Yeah, this is where I used to live. But I tell you what, though, we're going to get you guys back on the live feed later on tonight. We're going to sign off this live feed. I just want to go over some things about my reviews of the truck, as well as how to lift it properly, which I'll have another video coming up soon on as well. Another live feed later tonight, possibly another one real late Saturday night, headed through Boston again. A lot of stuff coming. I still have 2 truck videos. One's probably going to go live tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow night. Another one's going to go live on Sunday or Monday. I have another video coming out later this week. Be sure to check out the other video that I just posted on the Duramax. We got some nice mods going to the Duramax constantly. I've been sponsored by another lighting company and 2 other performance companies. So there's a ton of stuff coming for the Duramax or Mad Max. And you guys are going to absolutely love it. And like I said, just a lot of content coming. I'm trying to get back into more reviews as time progresses. September, I'd like to get 2 or 3 more reviews in. So I'm working on that, and as well as some other ideas I have for the channel. A lot more live feeds as well. We are going to be safe on the road for sure. Thanks, Frost. Thank you so much, everybody who's watching this video. Be sure to share this feed as well as the other videos with anybody that loves cars. Like I said, a lot of things coming. We're working on these things. The winter's coming up fast. We're only 2 to 3 months away, so there's going to be a ton of truck content in the snow, which is why I'm preparing it for that. But there's also a lot of things coming before that pertaining to the truck anyway. So definitely share the videos, share the channel. Thanks so much for all the support. We're going for 18,000 subscribers right now. We should be there within the next 2 to 3 weeks. We'll see how things go. The channel is definitely growing fast. I got some videos coming up with Mike at Street Speed. And believe it or not, I have been in talks to some degree, you could say to some sort of degree, with a WWE wrestler about reviewing his cars. I really don't want to say a whole lot now because if it doesn't happen, then the haters and the trolls will say that I said it would. When I'm not saying it will, I'm saying it's very possible. If you guys watch wrestling and you know who Braun Strowman is, I've been talking to him about his 1,000 horsepower Supra. So we'll see how that goes, because that would be pretty damn cool. We're both from the same state and not very far apart, so I could easily go home and go see him and review his cars. We'll see how that works. That'll be pretty cool. I'd love to have that 1,000 horsepower Supra. I really would on the channel. That'd be great.
I have one.
Oh yeah, you do.
I drive it every day.
But until the wow, okay. But until the next video, be sure to check out drivewithdemons.com. Get your Drive with Demons key tag. Whoopsie, Mopar no car key tag. Double-sided, guys. Support the channel. drivewithdemons.com. Take care. Have a great night. We'll see you on the next live vlog. Stay tuned later tonight. Good one coming, guys. What's going on, Mario? Thanks for joining in. Sorry that you're late. We are gonna hit the road.